Adal, welcome to the 59th episode of 365 Days of Tabla, a series in which we learn about the art, the craft, and the legacy of one of the most beautiful instruments, tabla. Today, as promised, we're going to discuss the 10 life forms of Taal. But before we understand these life forms, let's just quickly review what Taal is. In the previous episode, we had understood that Taal is a measuring unit that we musicians have created to understand time. It is also the base work or the base foundation in which all the presentation as we are created. Taal is not just an a unit, but it is a living organism, and just like all living organism, it requires elements to thrive upon to live. These living elements are called pranas, and there are 10 different living elements on 10 different pranas, which are called Dasa Pranas for the 10 life forms. These life forms are very much important to create a tala. So, in conclusion, it is safe to say that Tal is a living organism, and just like all living organisms, it requires elements to live, and these elements or the life forms in which a Tal, which is essential for Tal, are called are 10 in numbers and are called Das Pranas, or the 10 life forms of rhythmic cycle. So, with this, we know what Tal is. The lowest integer or the smallest integer to measure Tal is called Matra. Matra is considered to be the smallest integer to measure Tal. We humans have, just like we humans have created this measuring unit, and the smallest integer of that measuring unit of the measuring unit of the universal clock is second. Even musicians have created this measuring unit called Taal, and the smallest unit to measure this concept or this living organism is Mata. Now, let's explore the 10 elements of Taal. These 10 elements are Kal, Man, Kriya, Anga, Graha, Yati, Jati, Kala, Laya, Prastara. Now let's explore each and every uh, subdivision or each and every life form. We're going to briefly explore this, just a couple of lines. Kal, like we know that the smallest integer to measure Tal is Matra. So now let's explore each of these elements. Kal also means time. Kan can be generally understand as the Kal of Tai can be generally understand as the time taken for a single musical presentation. It is the time measurement from the shortest duration from the shortest duration to the largest duration, with Matra being considered as 1 second. Kal has certain subdivisions according to Natya Shastra. Kal has certain subdivisions such as uh, Truti, which is 1/8 of a Matra, Drup, Anutrat, which is 1/4 of a Matra being considered as 1 second. So, Truti is 1/8 of a second or 1/8 of a Matra. Uh, Anudrat is 1/4 of a Matra or 1/4 of a second. Drut is half of a Matra or a second. Laghu equals to 1 matra on the second. Guru is 2 matras or seconds. Kakpad is 4 matras or seconds. Hanspad is 8 matras or seconds. And Mahahanspad is 16 matras or seconds. So this is the definition of Taal. Taal is basically the measurement of the time required for a musical presentation. It is a measurement of from the shortest duration to the largest duration, with 1 matra being considered as 1 second. There are different divisions of this Kaal. Truti being the shortest division, which is 1/8 of a second or a 1/8 of a matra, to the largest division, which is Mahahanspad, which is 16 matras or seconds. So this is Kala. Now comes Marg. Marg, as the name suggests, it is a Hindi word for for pathway or route. It can also be in other words, it can also be a symbolical term for the flow of time. So we understood Kal is time. There are different divisions of Kal, starting from Truti to Mahahanspad. Marg is the pathway of time, or the pathway taken, or the route taken by time. Similar to Kal, there are different dimensions of Marg, starting from the longest division to the shortest one. There are subtle subdivisions like Dakshini, which is also known as Vilambit for the slow tempo. These are also, in other words, what we can say is that Marga is the tempo duration or the tempo route taken by the flow of time. So it is the route from the longest duration to the shortest duration. The longest route to the shortest route. That is a better way to explain. The longest route being Dakshini or the Vilambit, which is each beat is made in an elaborated one, such as the Dakshini is the Dakshini of let's say a particular the Dakshini Vilambit of a particular Taal, let's say Teen Taal. The Vilambit of it will be this. As you can see, that now we know the time cycles of we know the theka of Teen Taal. So each theka is played in an elaborated version, and the pathway is longer compared to the finer pathways. We know what Vilambit is, Dut is, but let's say on the fresh start, Vilambit is the longest route to showcase a particular Tala. In Carnatic classical music, it is also known as Dakshin. Following Dakshin is Vartik, or the medium tempo, or the medium pathway or a route taken by the time or the Kala. This is in Hindustani classical music called Madhyalaya. This is Madhyalaya. There are different variations of mathala, this being one of it. We can also have a variation like this. This is also a variation. In this variation, the presentations are going to be on the presentation of the gut, the kaidas, and all of this are going to be on this uh, pathway, which is the Varshit or the Madhyalaya pathway. Then comes the Chitra pathway or the Drut, also known as Drut in Hindustani classical music. It's called Drut. So the Drut pathway, which is this is the Drut pathway. Then comes the Ati Drut pathway, which is the faster tempo, such as again there are certain variations to this. Then comes this is also called Chitratan in Carnatic classical music. Then comes Ati Chitrata, which is Ati Druta in the Hindustani classical music. That is a fast tempo, which is with. There are certain variations such as most sitar players, most sarod players, most instrumentalists, they play jhala on this Atriduttam. It can be raised, but this is the jhala that is being played. Then the last part of the marga is Ati Chitratama. It's Ati Chitratama or Ati Bruttama, which is the fastest tempo. This is Ati Duttama. A lot of instrumentalists play on this, mostly santoor players and Mohan Meena, such light guitar players. They prefer this space because it creates a trance effect. A lot of flautists, such as Pandit Handasa Chaurasia ji, Rakesh Bhaiya, Pandit Rakesh Chaurasia ji, they also love exploring this rhythm space. This is the higher tempo version, and they love exploring this rhythm space. For flautists, this creates a wider ground in which they can create a trance effect, and it really transcends the audience to a different path. So these are the 5 parts or the 5 marble of time. So this is the second element.